Welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Kent Adams here. And there's been a lot of talk about mortgages. Heck, there's been a lot of talk about buying and selling homes. Welcome, especially here in Spokane. We're one of the top 10 most active markets on percentage-wise and so forth, things that are going on in the whole real estate area, primarily because we haven't been building like we should in the last few years, actually the last decade or so. But I've got a fellow here that I met some time ago, and he's been on our show before, and he was with a bank, and now he's doing mortgages with another firm. So we're going to talk to Dusty right after this.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
This is River Ridge Frame Shop, called Frame It Today, where we can take your art, customize it, and get it ready to hang on the wall. Here at River Ridge Hardware, 2803 West Garland.
The world has changed a lot in 50 years, and Kimley Haygood has changed with it. We still provide our customers with the highest level of service, whether it's financing, construction management, property management and maintenance, leasing, or sales. Our team is here to help you make the best decisions with your real estate. Weather in the inland Northwest can wear you down. And if your gutters are in poor condition or you do not have gutters, you could suffer damage that could cost a fortune to fix. Rainman Seamless Rain Gutters has almost 30 years of professional experience in serving the inland Northwest region and strives to ensure customer service that is second to none, from the time you call to the end of the project.
Dusty, welcome to our program.
Thanks, Kent. I'm really happy to be back.
Now, that is your actual name, Dusty, right?
Dusty, like a dusty shelf or dusty dancing boots.
Okay, yeah. And you do dance, don't you? I mean, that's kind of a hobby.
It's a big thing. Not only a hobby, it's actually a small business. I actually own the largest, as far as number of students taught, dance company in the Inland Northwest.
Oh, that's all. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Keeps you in shape. You have a chance to talk with people and be with people and so forth. But your full-time job, because we all know we have a full-time and then part-time jobs that become full-time, is a loan officer. And your new company is?
Synergy One Lending.
Okay.
So we've actually been in business for about 8 years.
Okay.
And,
but you just started.
But we just opened up the first branch in Washington State. Yes, sir.
Oh, in Washington State. That's great. That's great. So I got to ask this very simple question. How's business right now with all that's going on? I kind of in the open mentioned the sales and everything else. It's almost absolutely required to get pre-loaned. I mean, the loan pre-done, right? Approved?
Pre-approved, yes,
Pre-approved, yeah, these days. I don't even think realtors want to talk to you unless you've been, or you have the cash. A lot of cash coming in, a lot of big downs coming in from California or the West Side or whatever. But
Yes, sir.
How is all of that affecting what you do?
There's so much going on. So in some ways, it's really exciting because you're right. Our community is growing.
Right.
There are so many people that want to live here. You mentioned earlier some of the publications that came out. One by the New York Times just a couple months ago had Spokane as the number 5 hotspot in the entire country, and
Yes.
Coeur d'Alene as number 1.
I know.
Which means 40% of the top 5 in the entire United States for real estate hotspots, we can hit with a rock from here.
Yes.
This is our backyard, so it is bonkers. We have a beautiful area, and Spokane and Coeur d'Alene used to be this great, like the world's best kept secret.
Not
and
any
the secret's
longer.
gone. Like everyone wants to live here, and I mean, we have the rivers, the lakes, we have amazing people, amazing medical. There's so much the infrastructure improvements. We live in a wonderful city, and people want to come here.
Right. So people are calling you saying, I need to be pre-approved, and what happens from there?
So as far as just a pre-approval process, no, you'd mentioned that realtors don't really want to talk to you until you're pre-approved. So there is definitely something to that. One of the Washington state mandates with COVID was actually that if you don't have a pre-approval letter, you can't be shown homes. They were trying to
Okay. So that
reduce-
takes care of that, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were trying to reduce the amount of like traffic through homes, especially if it
The
was
looky-loos.
unnecessary. Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, you really shoot yourself in the foot if you don't have either, as you said, the cash, which few do, or a pre-approval letter when you go shopping. Just because it's always a fun thing where you go in, you fall in love with the house, you're like, I want this one. And the realtor says, okay, well, let's get you in. And you go to get pre-approved, and turns out you're approved for half of that or 3/4 of that.
Right.
And then you're just not in a competitive market where you can even do that. But now you've set the expectation so high for yourself.
Yeah.
And now you have to lower that expectation, which never feels good.
Well, no, and the seller kind of discounts, well, if they're not pre-approved. I've got enough offers on the table with those that are pre-approved. I don't need to even deal with that because I'm not going to sit out for another month or half a month or whatever, right?
Absolutely. Well, the pre-approval process usually only takes a few hours.
Oh,
if
okay.
someone has all of their things together, and you were talking about the process, it's
Right.
I basically show them my app, and they go through, they download it through Synergy One Lending, and they're able to fill out the application, upload the documentation needed, and if they can get me everything I need,
Yes.
so that I can make an informed decision,
Right.
then we can have them pre-approved in a matter of an hour or two.
Wow.
So that part's fast.
The
But-
world has changed.
Yes,
hasn't it?
yes, yes. Oh gosh, I love how streamlined we are. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that being said, if there's any kind of challenges or hiccups, or you have trouble getting a hold of a tax return or something like that,
Right.
those are all delays that can put you out. And by the time you have your pre-approval letter, in that case, the house is already gone.
Yes. That's so true. That's so true. Where are we going in this town right now with the sales and so forth? What's your perspective from a lender's point of view?
We are still in a very, very, very strong seller's market.
Okay,
Now,
yeah.
we've softened a little bit. We went from where a few months ago we were at 7 days inventory, and last week when I checked, we were at 14 days. So
Okay.
that's good. We've almost doubled the amount of inventory
Yes,
per
yes.
household. But the challenge is a healthy, balanced market is when we have 60 days of inventory,
Yeah.
or 6 months of inventory,
Yes.
which is 180 days. So right now, instead of having 180 days, we have 14 or 15 days.
Yeah.
So it's.
But there was a period when we had hours, I'm told, even almost.
I've heard that it was
Yeah.
just as soon as they came on, they're just
Yeah.
gone, sight unseen, cash down.
Yeah.
So it's softened a little bit, which is actually nice.
Yes.
We want to see that. That means that more people, especially I do a lot of work with first-time home buyers.
Okay, yes.
And now it's they have a lot more of a chance, which is great because so many of our first-time home buyers, you don't have people that are moving up, from high money areas that are going to be a first-time home buyer.
Right.
This is our local people, our kids that are graduating high school,
Right.
graduating college,
Right.
getting their first job and saying, I want to live somewhere, I want to build some equity, I want to invest.
Right.
This is where they get the opportunity to get in the game. And with the market the way it was a few months ago, it was nearly impossible. It still happened. We still got a few,
Yeah.
but boy, did we have to fight tooth and nail.
It was totally uphill battle, though. It really was. You do something at your company that I think is quite unusual, and that is you hold some seminars, and you've got some coming up too.
Yes, we do first-time homebuyer programs.
Okay.
So those are actually sponsored by the Washington State Housing Finance Commission. So you have
Okay.
to go in and get certified and registered with that State Department.
Okay.
But what they do is help us to provide down payment assistance for first-time home buyers.
Okay.
Which means, a lot of these, when we have younger people, or they don't even have to be younger, it could be older people that are buying for the first time.
Right.
They may not have the 6% down plus closing costs plus negotiation money and all that jazz. And so what we're able to do is it's fairly common and easy to help a first-time home buyer with up to 4% of the down payment.
Oh, really?
In the form of a deferred loan. Yes.
Okay.
And so what that means is instead of having to come up with 6%, they're able to come up with 4 is given to them as a deferred loan, which means they have to come up with 2% on their own
Okay.
to help manage the appraisal, the inspection, and then have some skin in the game themselves.
Yes. Good. That's kind of exciting for young, especially young people that are moving into that first-time home buyer situation. But even for older adults who maybe have rented or been in a condo for a while and now want to move somewhere. Yeah.
It's a big deal. I had this last fall, right before everything got too crazy, I had a mom of 4, a single mom of 4, and she went from being a renter, and between my bride and I and our whole team, we were able to get her into a beautiful house right here in Spokane, had the down payment assistance, and now each of her kids has a room, and she's building equity. And the equity that she's built already, just since she bought, and I believe it was November, has been just tremendous.
Yeah, think about that. That's almost a year's time.
Mm-hmm.
And with the market going up 15 to 29%, she's made money.
Oh, she's made a lot. She's almost made an annual income's worth of money in
Yeah.
equity
Yeah.
just by buying not even a year ago.
Wow.
It's wonderful, and it's such a blessing to see people that go from renting and having that over their head to this is mine.
There's a whole different attitude, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many folks, when you sit down with them, you can just see the smile coming out, and that they're going to be able to do this when you've said yes, you've been approved for X amount and so forth. It's gotta be good.
It
Good on
warms
the
your
heart.
heart so
Yeah.
much. There's when you've owned your home for so long, sometimes it's hard to remember what it was like to
Yes.
not.
38 years
Yeah.
for us. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're avoiding looking at anything else right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that seems like a lot of work.
It is. Oh, it's so much work.
Yeah.
And especially when you have, with first-time home buyers, a lot of them have credit challenges.
Yes.
Or there's these things, but when they, put their nose to the grindstone, they actually just work at it.
Yes.
I had one, it was a family, it was a vet, and he was doing a VA loan, which was at a competitive disadvantage when negotiating for a while there.
Okay.
But he and his family, new baby on the way. It was a fight, and he had some credit challenges, but he worked. He put his money where his mouth was. We gave him an action plan, and it took 6 months to get him from not approvable at all to here's your pre-approval letter. And now he and his family, they have a house. They own something.
Wonderful.
And it's such a blessing to see the faces light up, the excitement, and just that satisfaction of, I'm a homeowner.
Yes. Yeah, there's just a whole different approach I remember the days of renting back when we were first married and all of that, and to have your own place and so forth. And you work through the system of fixing the home and moving to the next one. And we know there are more stable neighborhoods and everything else that go with that scenario. And so the more people we can get to own a house, we're all better off as a community.
Amen.
Yeah.
No, ownership is one of the things that you see.
That's our dream
Yes.
from the beginning. It really is, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And even when you look at it from a larger standpoint, like how many challenges do we have in our society as a country from just a lack of ownership, not just home ownership,
Right.
but community ownership of, this is where I live. This is what I need
Yes.
to take care of. These are my neighbors, and just having that, this is mine. These are my people. This is my zone, my territory, this is my extended family here.
Yes.
And when you have that piece of dirt that you get to call yours, all of a sudden, those neighbors, they're not just someone that you're going to live next to for a year
Yeah.
and then swap out when the lease is up. That's someone that you're going to be working with for a while.
Yeah.
And it just changes that whole
It does.
relationship.
Especially when you have to share a driveway.
Yes, yes. Easements are a different thing altogether.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But I've been pleased that we've had someone for 38 years. We've had a couple different people in. And and they've been wonderful to have. So it has worked out just fine, but there could be issues, But,
Absolutely.
yeah. So let's go back to your dancing issue,
Okay.
because I think that's fascinating that you're doing the teaching and everything else. But you were going to come in and talk to me also about what is it?
The Valley Fest.
Valley Fest. And then I saw the other day, whoops, it got the carpet, the tap floor got
Yeah. The tap- yeah.
taken out from under you, didn't
awesome.
it? And everybody. Yeah.
Unfortunately, sad but true, Valley Fest was canceled this year. The board of directors got together, and just for the safety of the community,
Yeah.
based on the
Yeah.
COVID standards we're going with, they decided that we're going to postpone Valley Fest again until next year.
Okay.
That being said, we have postponed our dance competition. We will likely be having it just a little bit later on,
Okay.
and likely across state lines,
Okay.
just so that we want to make sure that we're being legal and responsible at the
Right,
same time.
right.
But yeah, so this year we actually had a super special treat, which was we were adding an open swing category. So historically, we had line dancing and line dancing competitions, team line dancing, swing
Right.
dancing. So if you ever see my bride Lisa and I dancing, I throw her way up in the air and she does flips and tricks above my head and all sorts of crazy shenanigans. But so we've done that.
You
but
got to
we-
be in shape for that, bud.
Oh yeah, well yeah, and she is as well. My
Yeah.
wife is a beast. She's awesome. But we're adding open swing, which is where we have East Coast swing against West Coast swing against
okay.
the vintage dancing against the country swing, and so you'd see a jitterbug come out against the smooth, sassy West Coast. Oh my gosh! And the whole goal is to unite the dance community.
Where did all this start with you?
For me, it was, 6 years ago now. I went through a major life change, and
Okay.
I found myself single for the first time in my adult life.
Okay.
And I realized, well, I need to find ways to meet other humans and
Yeah,
build
yeah.
friendships. And
Yeah.
so I went out to meetup.com, and I found that there was this group of people that were swing dancers.
They ought to be safe.
Right? Yeah. And so I went out to, at the time, it was this little bar over in the valley called the Roadhouse.
Yes.
And they had dance lessons. And so I went, and when I went there, turns out they were all senior citizens when I went in. So my first dance partner, Joanna, and I still give her a dance every time I see her, showed me the ropes, and we spun, and then I went out
I love
to the Nashville North, which is where we teach over at State Line.
Okay.
And I found out that I had a talent. Now, I had 2 left feet, and it took me a long time to fix that.
Yeah.
But with my background of wrestling and MMA,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
really good at moving humans.
Okay.
And so I was able to take the girls and throw them way up in the air
Yeah.
and do flips and tricks, and they got all excited, and everyone, oh my God, it's like watching Dancing with the
And
Stars.
sometimes you catch them.
Yeah, every time. 6 years, not one drop. But then as my feet were committing rhythmic murder, they didn't get that. I wasn't much of a dancer back then, but I could throw people up.
Yeah.
And it was enough of a confidence builder that I found a lot of healing as a divorcee. It's a
Oh,
process that
okay,
is
good.
damaging, no matter what.
I'll have to admit, I've never had anyone tell me that helped them
No.
through a divorce. Okay.
It's-
We've all heard some stories, but that's a different one.
Yeah.
But maybe it's you dance to a different drummer or something. That's a bad joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to find some new hidden talents that you didn't know. Really, it is, isn't it? All right. So if people want to find out more about your school and your business, how do they reach you?
Well, my cell is everywhere, so you can always shoot me a text for a mortgage at 509.
I won't tell you where I saw it the other day. No,
Yeah, yeah, it gets around there. But if you look us up on Facebook, so
Yes.
there's Dusty Wetzler, and I have my NMLS number. That way, it's all official and
Yes.
well regulated there. And then as far as Light Feet, it's LITEFEET. So look up Light Feet on Facebook. We have
Okay.
our little green spotlight logo. We have 12 classes a week going right now around the Inland
Are you
Northwest.
teaching them all?
No. I have 12 instructors. and
Oh,
several
okay. Because
sub-instructors. Yeah.
I'm thinking, how do you
Yeah.
do this? And you just had a new baby.
Yes, yeah, little
So
Evie's
I was
a
thinking,
month
I was
old, yeah.
thinking 12 classes, and how did you even get home? I mean, got to put it all together, right?
I have an amazing team. I could not do it without them. I
Yeah.
have a wonderful West Coast dance instructor. I have our salsa dance instructors. And then, of course, I have our country line swing two-stepping, cowboy cha-cha, all that jazz by a wonderful country team as well. And we actually have some really fun things coming up. So if you want to see something really crazy, you'll have to get a ticket. But the Blessings Under the Bridge fundraiser on October 23rd.
Okay.
So serving our local
Right.
homeless population.
Right.
Lightfeet has been hired as the entertainment, and we're going to support it in a way that we've never demonstrated before. So it's going to be pretty magical and supporting a great cause.
All right. October
23rd.
23rd. Okay. All right. I can remember that because my son's birthday, one of my sons, is September 23rd. So I just
Oh.
got to add to the next month.
Yep, just add the next
All
month,
right.
and that's where it's at.
great. Thank you, Dusty. Good to see you again. Congratulations on the new venture and first in Washington.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, no, very exciting and
Yeah.
a wonderful company.
Yeah, good. It makes a difference, doesn't it?
Amen.
When they back you up.
It does.
Really
Every
does.
promise kept. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Thank you. And thanks for watching. See you next time right here.